For this project, I just took an old Amazon box and my pair of zip cutters. So this is a fun little tool. I'll link it below in the description, but it really makes cutting cardboard much easier than using regular scissors. So I just kind of guesstimated a triangle for the gnome hat and cut it out of the cardboard. And in this, I'm just cutting a little section of square cardboard to use to put my paint on. I'm going to use some of the Waverly white chalk paint, and I'm going to combine it with a Deco Art brown paint to kind of make a flesh-colored paint for the, actually it looks like an apple barrel paint, to use for the nose of the gnome. So I'm just going to mix this together just till I get a color that I'm happy with. And you guys can, of course, personalize this however you want. You may want to do a pink nose for your gnome or leave it white even. And so I used this little half styrofoam balls that you can get at Michael's, and I will link them as well in the blog description, and painted the nose. Again, it's like a light tan colored. I really liked this color. It felt more natural for the gnome's nose, and it dried as a really pretty flesh color. Next, I'm going to add the burlap to the triangle piece of cardboard, and just for an added bit of texture, I folded up the flap. Now this is just a burlap runner that I had that I am repurposing, but you can use burlap ribbon, you can use burlap material that you can get from the fabric store as well, or you can just take apart a burlap sack if you prefer. But I'm just kind of piecing it around and literally gluing it to fit the back of the gnome hat. And you can just get creative. I just was trying to save material by not putting it all the way around the front and the back, but you can definitely cover the front and the back if that is something you prefer to do. I just continue this process until the entire triangle is covered with the burlap material. The tip of the gnome hat was a little tricky. I wanted to make sure that it was covered, but I also wanted to make sure that it didn't end up in just like a pointy witch hat looking vibe. So I went ahead and trimmed it up with the zip cutters to make it more of a blunt tip, because I just felt like that was more realistic for the gnome hat than a pointed tipped hat. And then off camera, I added this welcome sign. You can grab that little silver welcome sign from Dollar Tree. It comes in a pack of several words. And then I took apart several wreaths, felt wreaths from Dollar Tree, and also they sell hearts in a pack that are glittered to create the gnome beard. And I'm just adding a little hot glue just under the rim of my hat and applying these felt hearts in a whimsical pattern. You can choose to do this a complete solid color, or you can do like I did and mix and match your reds, your pinks, your whites, however you want to do for the beard. I went ahead and started with the corner pieces with the heart point tip bottom coming out of the hat. And then to cover more area and to give again some more interest, I added the heart with the rounded parts up underneath the hat next. Now I'm just kind of making sure that I know where I'm going to want the gnome nose to go, so I don't double up and put a bunch of hearts underneath where I don't need them. So you probably saw I'm just gluing the nose up underneath the rim of the burlap just to kind of give it that peeking out typical gnome look. And then I'm again just continuing to add the felt hearts up underneath the previous glitter hearts that were added. I'm just going to continue this process until the complete beard is covered with hearts. So this is the felt heart wreath that I was talking about from Dollar Tree. You can get one of these for $1, and it has all of these amazing hearts on it. Some of them are doubled up, some of them have glitter, and I just went ahead and detached each of them easily from the original felt wreath that they were on and used several of these for the gnome's beard. I decided I liked the look of some of the double hearts, just kind of put inside the beard to kind of give it, again, a little more interest than just the flat single hearts. and added a little more glue underneath the gnome's nose just to secure it to those base hearts. And then for a little fun, whimsical touch, I added a couple of the center hearts from the double hearts to the gnome hat right above the welcome sign. So I went ahead and glued those two pieces together, and then I glued the glitter heart duo to the actual burlap. I thought this added a great fun little touch. And then I flipped it over and wanted to add a hanger. So I'm going to glue a simple zip tie to the back of the cardboard gnome hat. And then I cut a little piece of felt and added it to secure the zip tie. Now our gnome hat is ready to hang, and it turned out so adorable. I love the way it looks on my front door for the Valentine holiday and season, and I hope that you'll make one for yourself. If you enjoyed this DIY, I would love for you to subscribe and hit the notification bell in order to see more.